Hi there, everyone. Welcome. It is so good to be here. Waiting for more people to jump on this live. We are so excited to be here on this event, Unify. It's been so great just to witness the other speakers here presenting and sharing their messages and what they have to share today. And we just want to open up and begin. Good morning, everyone that's joining.
Because it's morning in Australia.
Yeah, it is. It's the evening here. But we would just love to begin and open the container tonight with a beautiful prayer. Hey, y'all. Would you like to lead us in a prayer, Robin?
Sure. So my name's Robin Duda, and this is Chelsee Stewart, and we're going to be journeying with the Rainbow Unity Consciousness with you today, and inviting you to pray with us if you feel up to it, feels like your truth. Beloved Source, beloved Earth, and all the souls that are joining us here today, we open the rainbow light of unity consciousness to connect all of us in the truth of our hearts, knowing that we are here for the new creation of our bodies and spirits being one. We welcome now the intentions of all the souls here. We open our container to hear you, to hear the subtle whispers, to hear the cries, the screams, to know who you are in each one of us. That true unity that we are here together to co-create this beautiful new earth. And here from Santa Fe, we are reaching out with our rainbow hearts to all those that are seeking whatever it is you need for your next step of evolution, for your next step of grounding, your next step of truth. We invite this experience today to touch you right where you need. And we ask to be channels of that truth that unifies us even more and allows for our community to grow throughout the whole planet, throughout the stars to Earth. And so it is.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Aho ai. Beautiful. Thank you for that, Robin. I always love listening to your prayers. Like I shared, it reminds me of such family, just such family. And it touches my soul so deeply. So, hey everyone that's jumping on. Yes, Rainbow Heart, baby. That's what we do. The Rainbow Tribe from all over the world. And like I was sharing before, it feels like such an honor to be able to come together here and share what we've been up to, share the practices that this beautiful woman has
and lots of others.
And lots of others that is continuously evolving in a community of people here in Santa Fe. We feel so honored to be able to share that on this platform with people all over the freaking world.
I know, it's almost like you can feel the blessings coming in from people that are seeking and wanting what we're doing and what's meaningful in their lives. It's that one place that we all say, yes, why can't we heal those divisions? The duality is ending. Everything's crumbling, so now we must stand together.
And I'm sure that's why all you are here, because you have that same desire of unity in your heart. So we just want to share a little bit of what we're going to be sharing today on this presentation. And yeah, just give you a little bit of outline so you know what's coming. So we're going to be sharing a bit about our stories, our own personal stories of how this work came into your life and how I found Robin and how this community has been being co-created together. And we're going to be sharing a little bit of some dance and drum and an embodiment practice that we use called Rainbow Light. It is an embodiment practice that unifies the soul, body, earth, and source all together so we can operate from our most authentic true selves in our body and present time in this lifetime. So we're so excited, and we'd love just to start with this song that Robin has created. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yes. So in 1990, I had a near-death experience, which was one of my experiences that popped me wide open. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But once I opened up to the infinite love from Source, I started channeling music. My soul memory was all there. I was feeling a little crazy because I had so much multidimensional awareness that I didn't know how to organize myself. But one of the things that came through was that I was the rainbow goddess. We are the rainbow people. I am the rainbow warrior, and I just was constantly hearing these terms, and I had never studied any of that material. But I was a performer for many years, and a singer, a dancer, and when this information just flooded through me, I wanted to make art. As we can see in the other presenters, when you're connected to your soul essence, creativity just comes out of you, and that's when you really know you're channeling yourself. So I wrote a song that seems really perfect for this event, and it's called Come Unify. And we're so lucky because here in Santa Fe, we do African dance in our community, Sustainable Love Community, and we have with us, come on up, from Guinea. He is coming to drum with us. Can you introduce yourself, buddy?
Hi, my name is Mfamusa Suma. I'm from West Africa, Guinea.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
And he's going to help us with this beautiful song that I wrote, and I hope you all enjoy it. We also have a dancer joining us, my daughter, Mariah Duda.
Aw.
That's going to dance with
sister.
us. Yeah.
And a dear sister of Chelsea.
Yes. So enjoy the song, and when you feel moved, come and dance with us. You'll know the moment. You'll know the moment. All right.
Beautiful.
Come unify, come unify, come unity, come unity. The words are beckoning, are becoming. The longing has been ancient. The vision has never died, never died, never died. Come unify, come unify, come unity, come unity. How many have sought to belong, from the stars to the earth, black to white, angelic, galactic, earth unite. Darkness rides inside, propelling what we seek. No place to hide when angels walk with feet. Dance with your friends of the rainbow tribe, the rainbow tribe, the rainbow tribe. Come unify, come unify, come unity, come unity, come unify, come unify, come unity, come unity. Shed the veils we call our shadow. Our loving lives in claiming the vow. The promise to love all equally. Inside begins the unity. Dance with your friends of the rainbow tribe, the rainbow tribe, the rainbow tribe. Come unify, come unify. Dance with your friends. Dance with your friends. Dance with your friends. Dance with your friends. Come unify. Come unify. Come unify. Dance with your friends of the Rainbow Tribe, the Rainbow Tribe, the Rainbow Tribe. Thank you, everybody. Santa Fe, New Mexico. The whole world comes to Santa Fe. Wow. Woo. Thank you so much, Mariah. Oh my goodness.
My heart is racing.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you for that every time you sing it. Oh, it's
You
just like,
feel it in your body?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can feel the truth of my own soul's desires in that song so deeply.
Well, you know that came once I remembered my African lifetimes, which is something we've talked about.
Very a
Yeah.
lot.
Is here I am in white skin, but it's not the first time on this rodeo.
Yeah.
And that's often the people that know they're in the Rainbow Tribe, they know they've been all races, they've been from all lands, they've been from the stars, and they don't know how come we're in separation here. And now we know we don't have to be.
So true.
Yes.
With that said, would you like to go into your story and share your personal story of how this
Okay.
has been created?
Great.
I'd love to hear that from you.
Yeah. Well, I started sharing with everybody that in 1990 I had a near-death experience. And before that, I was studying in college in New York City. I got 2 master's degrees in 3 years as a therapist, a dance therapist, and a social worker. But I also had a passion for performance. And I was performing outdoors on Earth Day, and I stepped on a bottle cap that pierced a cable hooked into the amphitheater, and I was electrocuted. And as I left my body, I experienced what often NDE people talk about, which is you move into a state of unconditional love with Source. And some people see a lot of light. I actually went to what we call the void or the mother. I experienced being held in total bliss, total acceptance for the first time in my existence, at least on earth. So I started this dialogue when I was out of my body, and I was told that if I wanted that kind of love in my body, I had to do one thing. I had to recognize that everything around me was my soul calling in my reflection. Things that I loved, things that I didn't love. And even my parents were a reflection. Even my siblings and the person that had harmed me and violations that I had as a child, everything was a reflection of my eternal soul. And if I wanted to know love as Source loved me, I had to choose to love those people as myself and find out who in me is that and repair it. And so I then spent the next 25 years making sense of all my parts, bringing them into wholeness, because everything I was experiencing out there, I could find inside. And when we hear the principle of unity consciousness, that the inside creates the outside, I don't know how many of us really have been able to always feel safe going and looking and finding and experiencing that victimizer inside, that victim part of us, that really repairing the victim, the victimizer, and the rescuer. And I want to speak into that one because when I woke up, I had this amazing experience of being a star being, and I had no one to talk to about that and what that even meant. And I didn't really want to be on Earth. I wanted to be back on my own planet. So I'm sharing that with this audience because I noticed so many people are aware of that part of themselves. And so later in life, I worked for about 5 years, 6 years, ended up having a child, a mixed race child, and realized that I really wanted to ground my wisdom and moved to Santa Fe, and then was supported by extraordinary amount of people. Then created a healing team. My husband and I met and instantly activated each other. So all the healing tools that I now teach Chelsea, and we have probably 14, 15 apprentices. Well, actually, they're moving into apprenticeship, but Chelsea's an apprentice of learning how to guide others in conscious soul retrieval, conscious unity inside the tissue, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But this has been my path ever since my near-death experience. And I now feel the technology is allowing us to share it. I've done it all in Santa Fe, not on Zoom. And just since the COVID, it's almost pushed me into the window, right? Of going online. So I'm a shamanic type of a gal, meaning I love, working with people. And the folks that are in our small community have stayed together through this COVID. And we've been very blessed because many of you guys live together as well in an intentional community here in Santa Fe. Yeah. So that's a little bit about my story. And I'm still married, and I've got gorgeous children. And I just love what's happening because it's way beyond me. It's the rainbow body is moving us all into the cleansing and the healing of duality in our bodies and the pain of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say about the COVID thing, how I really see this as a huge initiation and one way to connecting us all more. To connecting us all more into what we truly came here to be and to do. So it's been a great way of being able to share all of this globally and just be able to share the journey so freely. But I would love to share about how I met you and how, like, my journey and where I came from as well. Basically my whole life, I've always had this deep longing inside of me, like I didn't belong, like I know many of you experience as well. This feeling of not belonging. And the older I got and began to understand myself, I could feel my longing more and more inside of myself to, like you said so beautifully, not be on this planet. Longing to go back home. That was something I cried about so many nights, of just wanting to return back home. And I didn't even really know what that meant, but I just knew that home was not here. Inside of myself. Home was not in my family. Home didn't feel like it was in my body. Home didn't feel like this planet. And so I spent most of my time out of my body trying to go back home. Trying to go back home to God, to Source, to that oneness that I felt so deeply in my being. And I would smoke cannabis very, very, very frequently to get me to that place. To feeling the closest feeling I could feel to home. And with doing that, it was beautiful because it helped me understand a lot of who I was, and I received just a lot of wisdom and insight, but I wasn't in my body. And so I would leave my body, go into the forest, smoke cannabis, and feel God. I would just feel God. I'm like, this is what oneness feels like. Like, yes, this feeling. Like, I am the trees, and I am the birds, and I am the sky, and I am the sun. Oneness. And so, like, that feeling, that knowing was amplified inside of me. But as soon as I was sober again, and I would get totally, like, come back down from that high, oh my goodness. It was so hard. I didn't want to be human. It felt so dense to be here. All of my relationships felt like they were struggling. I wasn't able to be present in my life. I didn't really know who I was. I couldn't be present in a relationship because I didn't really know who I was as a human. I didn't really know who I was as a human.
And the gift of being human.
Yeah. And it's been so profound because, I mean, there's so much more story to this, but from that point, what was the huge revelation, the revelation, meeting Robin, was through doing this work, I got to meet the parts of me that, so many parts of me. There's not just one part of me that doesn't want to be human, but there's many different parts of me that don't want to be human. And I got to meet those parts and understand inside of my own being what their belief systems are about being human. And I have come to discover it inside of myself that a lot of my parts don't want to be human because they feel like humans are less than. And so
there's a judgment.
Yeah, there's such a judgment of humans, of Earth. This planet is so dense. This human body is so dense. Being human just means you're a slave. I just want to be free and energy and experience all of the love and experience the oneness. And through meeting these parts and re-educating myself through this practice, through these embodiment tools, calling them back in my body to choose human love, I've been able to show them that that is an illusion and that they can experience God in the same way here in the human body.
It's profound, isn't
It's
it? That our bodies are multidimensional and can vibrate with our eternal souls. We're in this incarnation, spirit and form are actually one.
Yes.
And we're always vibrating consciousness all the time.
Yeah, it brings me back to that piece of, well, one, finally, most of my being is starting to really awaken to that knowing of, wow, my human body and my soul are one. They're not separate. And it reminds me of what you were saying earlier about once you start becoming more and more embodied, you're able to then begin to channel this embodiment through creativity.
Right.
And it there was this one day I was at the river, and there's just such this knowing. I'm like, wow, so much of me is really beginning to remember that God is form. And songs started flowing out, like, I am God in form, I am God in form, I am God in form, you are God in form. And so it's been really powerful because my journey has empowered me to bring all of these parts that have been floating in the ethers, floating out of my body back into my sacred vehicle, my heart, to empower really who I am, the authenticity of me, of the wholeness and the fullness of me.
And so much of when we do meet a soul part, and this is something that people don't always know how to talk about, each soul part has a conditioning. Like when I've met my soul parts from other times and they start to integrate, I recognize that my suppression that I have felt on my voice actually started when I was, in that lifetime as a French whore, for example. And so I wasn't safe to speak my truth. So then you bring these unhealed spaces into present time and you recreate from that wound that hasn't been healed another holographic experience where you're not able to open your throat. And then we ask somebody in our hologram to play out the victimizer, and there we go. We get to be suppressed again. But I didn't understand any of that when I first woke up, and so many of us are wanting that full wholeness, and yet we have a hard time going, wow, I'm co-creating this holographic field that keeps attracting this same story, and take responsibility through self-love to repair it. And that's a big part of why you can do community in my mind. I mean, your generation that's grooving right now is so exciting to me because you guys keep owning your co-creation. You don't get caught in the blame. If you get judgment comes up, you have all the tools to go, wait a second, who are you and me? What am I projecting? I'm going to call that back, which is part of the Rainbow Light practice. And these guys are just so courageous, and I'm always inspired by you all taking the tools and making them work for you.
Yeah, it's been really empowering because it's showing me and all of my relationships like where I am in projection, where I am in judgment, where I am in blame, and it really just gives me more of the spaciousness to be able to feel my own feelings, to feel my own truth. So I'm not projecting so much onto other people and can really have compassion. And to me, that's what compassion actually is. It's not just like, oh, like, I'm sending you the love, you're doing your thing. Like, I think that's an aspect of compassion, but real deep compassion is knowing who they are inside of you.
And loving them. And forgiving them.
And forgiving
and
them.
healing, bringing them home to a new reality, which is here in the sanctuary work that we do. Yeah.
Would you like to go into more of
The alchemy work?
the alchemy?
Sure. Well, one thing that I developed years ago when I was 50, I'm 60 now, I can't even believe it.
I can't either. The way that you bounce around, I'm still like, what?
But yes, when I was 50, I knew it was time to put my story out into the world, and I created a one-woman show. And then I started producing and directing other shows about transformation. And in Santa Fe, we've had quite a few of those experiences. And so many of our community members are artists and are performers. And then some are technicians. You know, we have every kind of folk in our community. But this particular piece that I wanted to share with you has to do with how to bring unconditional love into the tissue by reconciling the splits. And I don't know if you've all noticed this, but you can have all the great intention in the world, and then a shadow part comes into your life, and you feel like, oh my God, I'm back into hopelessness. What we've learned over the years is we have to be willing to feel the depth of those emotions through the tissue in order to reconcile and repair the tissue. And so in our healing practice, we do body work, we do soul retrievals, we do re-imprinting with loving kindness. We consciously talk to our soul parts. We consciously say, let's open our heart and relate with each other in the way that we want to be treated. Let's re-imprint each other with what we never got as children or what we never got in that past life. So I did a little solo based on these different parts talking to each other. And in Soul Alchemy practice, we have a thing, the space in the heart called governing center. So what I want to show you are the different parts that came up for me over the years, just a small part of that, and then how I had to talk to them to bring them into wholeness. It's just like a quick little solo that I'll share with you guys. And I can't tell if the camera can catch me, so you'll have to navigate that for me.
Beautiful. We just want to move that chair.
How's this? Good. Oh, I belong up there. Oh, what am I doing down here? I'm starving, and I want to be one with all. What am I doing down here? I have to be down here, but I don't want to be down here. I hate this body, hate this body, hate this body. I'll just float up here now. I don't want to feel that feeling. I'll just stay up here now, because that's just a little nicer. Just a little. But you've got to get organized. Get organized. Put that in order. Get your job. Get your money. Get insurance. Get a job. Move to Santa Fe. Get it together. Don't you stop and dream. No, no, no. If I just study, I'll get smart enough, and somebody will hire me, and life will be okay if I'm just smart enough, and I do everything that Mom and Dad said, and I get it right. If I just get it right, if I just get it right. mommy. Where are you? I am Ka. Whatever I need, I take. I need no one. I'm a warrior, and I need nothing. I die for the king. I die for the village. I die, and that's who I am. Oh, well, if I need money, I'm just gonna go and do whatever you need. Because if I can just then I'll have a car. Oh, and maybe I'll have a house. And maybe I can just make it so that you think you're the most wonderful man on the planet. And I'll just but I don't really like myself. Children, get back here! Get back here! You're not safe! Get back here! You have to stay here! I have to keep you safe. No, you can't leave. Oh. You have abandoned me. I am your body, I am your earth. Motaya no go dema na shimo go dema. Hata go dema na shima na gade. Agado na maliaja. I had a lot to integrate. So as I opened my heart to each part and their pain, I would ask them, masculine, what would it take for you to come into my body and not kill? What would it take to open your heart? What would it take for you to let go of having to be right, having to be organized, having to be in control of everything? What would it take? And he would say to me, I don't know love. I only have power by controlling. I don't know what it is to be safe and to be loved. I've been told to kill. But inner male, this is a new time. And we killed because we thought they were separate. And we controlled because we didn't trust our bodies and we didn't trust we were loved. Can you see now my heart can forgive you and you can forgive yourself, and your female inside of me is waiting for you. She longs for you. I will have to let go and trust and come into your body and choose to feel and be vulnerable. You must teach me, for I do not know how to do that. I will teach you, male. Female, what would you have to do to forgive the abuse? What would you have to do to stop hiding and leave my body and come into self-love? What would you have to do to give up manipulating men? Manipulating, controlling. What would you have to do? I would have to forgive myself for holding, controlling, and abusing my own children because I did not know I could be safe. I would have to forgive myself for leaving my body and handing it over like a piece of flesh. I would have to forgive myself for hating myself. I can hold you, feminine, in that compassion. I can forgive you. Are you willing to start choosing self-love in my body? And my heart will show you. Are you willing? Are you willing? Come. Come unify. Come back. I choose you. I will help you heal and recognize you are both hurting. And no one is greater or less than the other. The star world needs to come into the tissue to heal. And we are now ready to repair the division of ancient times. I allow you both in my body to repair. And the more and more I did this, the more life force came back to me, the more compassion I would have, the more willingness the next client I would have in front of me to see who they are in me. I would repair with my husband by going inside and meeting who he is in me. And so Chelsea's going to join us back to share about that little performance. Thank you for watching, guys.
Oh, Robin, Duda, you did it again. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your commitment to knowing yourself. I've shared that with you so many times, but watching that performance once again just reawakened me. Again, it was so activating to recognize all that I hold inside of myself.
You are the whole world. We are.
The whole world inside of myself. Like that is shared so, I feel so common, like we know that, but then to actually know that inside is a whole nother level of embodiment and awareness. So I just want to thank you again for performing that and reawakening me again. Reawakening me again. And yeah, all of these different parts that I have been able to meet through this work and your own desires to meet that within you. It's just, I have been reawakened to my multidimensionality. I've been reawakened to my multidimensionality, to my wholeness.
Yes. And I think that's what we're all longing for. And yet sometimes the journey is very painful and we don't want to feel our pain. And yet for me, I had to be willing to bring love to all my pain. That to me is what we're being asked to do right now. You know, so many people are talking about the purging and the healing and the initiation into 5G.
5D.
But I meant 5G actually.
Oh, wow.
Because there's so many new toxins, new challenges for our physical bodies. But when our soul unites with forgiveness and self-love in our tissue, it starts to build our immunity. It starts to increase our capacity to navigate these challenges. So thank you so much for that, Chelsea. Yeah.
I am honored. And would love to actually share the process that we all as a community do, the embodiment process that we all do together to help facilitate that uniting with all of our soul parts in the body. And as most of you seen on the advertisement that people have posted, and then just on our pages, the Sustainable Love page or my page, we share a lot about the embodiment process called Rainbow Light. And this process was created through your discovery.
And many times in the indigenous prophecies, they're talking about, the rainbow tribe. They're talking about the time of the rainbow bridge. And when I developed the rainbow light practice, I had no conscious study. I was told to not read, to not study with any spiritual teacher, but to remember. And so for 20 years, I just would ask my soul, what do I need to do? What's love asking? And I had a plethora of memories about how to do healing, but I also had to decondition my soul from certain practices that caused harm to my body, like sacrificing my body to heal someone, taking in the toxins of another. As a shaman, I had to let that pattern go. So the rainbow light practice came from remembering my rainbow body, and that was ancient Lemurian. It was Hopi. I had a lot of African lifetimes. And so this practice, if you want to grab that picture, this practice is, we're only going to be able to show you 2 steps of it, but it's based in empowering the tube torus of our rainbow field, which then clears out energies and conditionings that are not of us. What we're asking for is to connect to Source fully in our midline. We're asking to invoke the Earth's elemental force and its own blueprint that's in our tissue already. And then we're unifying all of that in the heart chakra. And when I go into all of the steps, we also then clear out of our auric field what's not us. Then we do conscious soul retrieval and bring parts of ourselves back in. Then we activate the rainbow body flame in the heart. Then we open up the sanctuary. And the sanctuary is the place where most of us do our deepest work. And what I love about this practice is it keeps growing because each person's wisdom informs the practice. Because we're not healing each other.
No.
We're not healing each other. We are
accessing our own healer inside of our own being. And
that's right.
What's so beautiful is the more that we strengthen our own field and invite more and more of our parts back in our own being and fill ourselves up with our life force, it becomes so much more easier for our soul parts to find us.
It's like we're vibrating. You can come home now.
Yeah.
I get it. You're me.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, like I've been lost for all of this time, and now being so strong in our own heart fields, they're like, wow, it's like this flashlight out into the astral. That's like, and earth. Yeah. Because our soul parts are not just floating around up there, but down and the earth, beneath the earth too.
And when people have trauma, they often get fractured. And those fractured soul parts sometimes get buried into the earth, into the bones, leave and go to their home planet. I mean, we've done dialogue work with folks that had to go all the way reaching into their home planet, Arcturus and Pleiades and Sirius, to say, I need you to unify here and learn about love here. So this tube torus, understanding that is, traditional spiritual work. We've seen tube toruses, if you've done any kind of spiritual work with the Melchizedek work or the Merkaba, we can create this field in many ways, but we're consciously doing it with our invocation, our will. We're claiming our will to give it our rights to be humanly free and to walk as a soul-body union. So maybe we could share with them what that's like, the first two steps. Yeah. Because we teach the whole series in online experiences, But today we can't teach you the whole thing because it's very activating.
Very.
And
Very.
we do safe containers and really hold people in a safe, beautiful way. And I just love watching Chelsea lead this because she does it so well. And I just love her style. And Mariah, are you going to join her?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we invite you guys to speak. We invite you guys to speak with us, and we're going to call in these incredible resources of Source and Earth, and then we're going to just move that energy a little bit. So Chelsea will guide that process and join us. Just the positions, join us with the words, because the word has power.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I invite all of you at home to stand up with us because
up.
this is a movement and sound embodiment practice. So, all right, let's do it. Yay, Mariah.
Yeah. I'm so glad to be here.
All right, I'll just give y'all a second to get up and just shake our bodies first because we've just been sitting for however long we've been sitting. So I just invite you just to shake your body and just get in and just move and sound. We always like to just begin our practice just with beginning to move the energy flow. So, all right, beautiful people. So we're going to start by putting our hands up. And this is us declaring, we're declaring to our soul to come into the body. So feel free just to repeat after me. From the power of one love,
From the power of one love
that I am, I call forth
I call forth
my eternal soul
my eternal soul
in my body.
in my body.
And then we're going to do hand movements that go down, and we'll keep the spine straight. Breathing down this energy, down our crown, all the way down the spine. And we're going to open up our crown chakra so we can fully receive our eternal soul in our body. And we'll just keep breathing it down, just like this. I call forth my unified field
My unified field
of rainbow light
of rainbow light
in my body.
in my body.
And just breathe that in all the way down your spine. All the way down your spine. Ah, and allow the sound just to move through your body. Ah. Your eternal soul gets to unite with your body. Ah. The multidimensionality of your spirit gets to be here in your tissues. So I receive the rainbow light. I receive my eternal soul in my blood, in my bones, my organs, my DNA, my nervous system, my waters. And just continue opening up. Breathing it down, breathing it all the way down. Down the pelvis, down the thighs, down the knees, down the legs, all the way to your feet. And just allow that energy just to puddle all the way down to your feet. And just feel that energy all the way down. Your eternal soul grounding into your feet. And now we're going to open up our feet chakras at the bottom of our feet because this allows for us to connect down to the core of Earth and receive the resources that Earth has for us. So we're just going to tap the bottom of our feet. And we like to do a little bit of a cross because it activates the left and right brain hemisphere. So we're going to slap it, open up, beat chakra. We can do a little dance. Like wanna. And then sometimes we just like to stomp our feet. Thank you, feet, for being my grounding center to this earth. All right. And so now we are going to imagine that the bottom of our feet has roots, rainbow roots that just grow and deepen all the way down to the crystalline core of this earth. So on the count of 3, we're gonna just shoot our roots all the way down into the crystalline core until we feel like we have gotten there. We've gotten all the way down and we can feel those resources. So on the count of 3, we'll shoot our roots. 1, 2, 3. And feel those roots just growing from the bottom of your feet like ropes, just falling deep beneath the floorboards and the dirt, the rocks, the watersheds. I believe that there's fairy homes underneath the ground too, so beneath those as well, until you meet the crystal core of the earth. And just breathe that resource in, breathe that love in once you meet it. Your body knows this wisdom. Your body knows this love. Just allow yourself to drop deep into it. And now you can repeat after me. I call forth the unity consciousness of this earth. I call forth the unified field of this earth in my body now. I call forth the resources of all elements of this earth right now in my body. Air, fire, earth, water, plant, animal, mineral kingdoms, microbiomes, the Devic wisdom, the wisdom of my ancestors in my body, the love of all elements of earth, the innate knowing of sovereignty, the innate knowing of unity that my body holds, that this earth holds. I breathe this into my body. I receive it in my body. And just allow yourself to breathe this in. All the way up your spine. Up your spine. Breathing it in, keeping your spine straight. And allow this resource of love just to continue to come up. Allowing your cells to receive this nourishment from earth. Allowing your blood to receive this nourishment of earth. And your bones, your waters. All right. And then let's shoot this energy all the way back up to our source. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is the fun part because we get to now dance this resource from our soul, our body, and our source and earth all into our field. So let's just take some time to fill up our entire auric field with our nourishment now. Fill every inch up. Feel free to take up all of the space that you desire. All of the space. It is safe to take up all of this space, to fill yourself up with yourself, with your resources, with your nourishment. And every inch of your field, down below. Just moving it in. Continue just moving it. What a gift it is that we have this resource just to fill ourselves up. How you guys doing? Let me know how you doing. Do you feel like you're full and you're so filling up yourself?
Full bellies, full bodies.
Full bodies, full orc fields. Just keep moving.
Thank you.
And now we're just gonna drop our awareness, bring our awareness all the way into our heart. All the way into our heart. Feeling the resources that we called into our body. And feel free to take a seat while Robin guides us into our heart sanctuary.
And then I'll just move this and plug it in. Hi. So, as you're dropped in, you might want to close your eyes and find your bottom sitting. Ground on in to your bottom. Feel your pelvic floor being supported by the chair. Allowing yourself to drop into your body, opening to your sensing, feeling awareness. Let yourself drop deeper into your feet, connecting with your left foot and your right foot. Notice the vibration in your left foot and right foot. Are they different? Is there a different signature of energy in your right foot or left foot? Heaviness, temperature, really dropping in to your left and right foot awareness. Are they different in their vibrational feeling? Are they prickly, tingly, pulsing? Let yourself now notice that rainbow stream of light that's moving from the center line up and down. And I'm going to invite you just to come deeper behind your heart and drop in behind your heart. And imagine there's a door leading to the deepest part of your knowing. And ask to see that door. Breathe into that door, inviting yourself to open that door to your infinite wisdom from source, soul, earth. And as you're walking through that door, allow yourself to see the rainbow heart that's there. And if you don't see one, just move towards your gratitude sensation. Feeling the gratitude of life itself that's in your heart. Take yourself to a moment, a person, a doggy, a kitty, a place of deep love, of gratitude for life itself. A moment of being in nature, and fill right now your heart with that gratitude. And this sensation is your positive resource. Knowing that you are the healer inside of your own heart. You are the one that you've been waiting for, as we've been saying. But remember now that your ability to feel worthy of love comes from your willingness to love the unlovable. So inviting yourself now to the space of forgiveness of one thing today that you need to release judgment from, wherever judgment is living of yourself. Just, let's say, take an exhale. Just surrendering that self-judgment. Whew. Yeah. Inviting you now to take your hands and rub your hands, because we want to leave time for questions. Rub your hands together. And we're just going to say, thank you, body, for showing me the truth of my feelings, of my needs, of my wants. Thank you, body, for living when I was afraid, for choosing life. Yay. So we've kind of moved throughout the universe. Big energy to dropping into the somatic, the quiet place that we all nourish ourselves from. So you had asked if we could respond to any questions.
Yes, I would love to open the space for any questions for Robin or myself, or anything about the practice or community, any questions that may be on your heart. We just want to open up this space right now to answer anything. So feel free to ask.
There's one.
Well, not a question, just reading through some of the comments.
I don't have my glasses.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you all so much. Wow, that was so beautiful. I'm puffed out now. Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a practice that gets you in your freaking body. Like, the movement is what I love so much about it. Because I notice so much, many of us are really wanting more expression.
Yeah.
And this empowers the expression through movement and through sound. So
Yes. And when we move our energy with sound and dance, it is so traditionally understood that that's when our connection to our truth starts to move. That's when the denied emotions start to move. That's when we open to that vitality that's in there that's been suppressed. So this work and my own healing work really came from healing myself and knowing that if my own will and my own emotion wasn't moving, then my soul was frozen. My body was frozen. So lots of research has been done, as you guys might have talked about in other programs here, of needing to do trauma healing with somatic movement, coming out of freeze and getting that body going. Is there a question there?
yes, we do have.
Oh, I think we have one.
So there's a question from Lauren Monty that says, how do you move through resistance to embodiment?
That's wonderful. So resistance is actually the doorway of remembering. When you see your resistance as an invitation to love more, you breathe into the resistance, don't judge it, and say, wow, I haven't felt safe to feel here. So I'm going to bring my rainbow heart, I'm going to bring my self-love to this resistance, and I'm going to discover where it is. Does it move? Does it shake? Does it want to scream? Does it want to be still? Does it want to punch? Does it just want to be numb? Just get to know it. Make it your friend. Because when we have resistance, it's because we didn't feel safe feeling something.
Yeah.
And that's the doorway to go, oh, wow, I've told myself I can't feel this. I'm not safe feeling this. I can't know this. And you have to love what is before what is will move.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's like, how do you expect, it's like a child. Once you really create that safe space for them to actually express how they feel, then they will express how they feel. And they'll be able to move through that cycle of feeling. and return back to their natural state of being.
And we all see this. The Peter Levine work has studied what happens in anyone when they feel the threat. Their body goes into freeze, then it has to shake out, and then you can repair. And we've been told over and over, sit down, be quiet, don't express, don't do that. And so our bodies are used to shutting down instead of expressing. So this is the return of our innate intelligence. Yeah. And practicing that together. Is there another question?
Yeah, so a woman, Lorna, sorry if I mispronounce your name, my apologies. It says, I am restricted in my movement. Can I just move from a chair doing this practice?
Absolutely. That is, I actually started doing aerobics in New York City with wheelchair kids.
Really?
Yeah, and I worked in East Harlem in the 80s.
Wow.
And we taught movement in wheelchairs, and it was amazing. So this practice is perfectly suitable. We sometimes don't even move. We just do it as a meditation. So it's adaptable to wherever you are.
Awesome. So we have another one that says, this expression is new to me. Where and how do I learn more?
Well, they can check out our Facebook page. Yeah?
Yes. Feel free to just add Robin Duda and myself on Facebook, and we're constantly sharing different offerings that we have. For me, I share a lot of the realizations that I come through session work and through this practice, and we share a lot about our community. So just feel free to add us on Facebook.
And one of the things that I just so admire about Chelsea and is the transparency. I in my one-woman show when I was 50, I saw that if I could tell the truth about my life, that it would make the secrets of our culture start to melt. And how many of us have been so mortified with the lies and the secrets of our culture. And now so many of those secrets are really being revealed right now, which is the times. We know that is what the times are requiring, is the secrets in our bodies that are held in the culture purging. So transparency as a spiritual teacher, to me, is key. So we're not in hierarchy anymore.
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about this because I'm transparent with my needs and feelings.
Totally.
Chelsea shares online. We really believe in the oneness, that what she's going through is universal. What I'm going through is universal. So I don't hold myself in a hierarchical position.
Yeah.
And I really believe in that at this point, because we've lost our trust in leaders that tell us the truth about what is happening.
The guru matrix is fucking done.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, we're done with it. We're done with it.
It's amazing to consider that the real gurus right here. We really have it inside. Yeah.
The guru that's not in hierarchy.
Right. Right. We're not going to let the guru inside tell everybody what to do. No. These gurus got to sit at the table in a big circle.
And recognize who you are and me, and who you are and me.
He's going to love the warrior, the female, and all the parts are going to be very happy. And in a big circle here. And this is one of the images we work with. When all the parts know they're part of one, this is one of the fields. Sorry, Chelsea. This is the energy of the unified field inside of our heart chakra.
So we have another question that says, can we come and stay with you? Well, we live in Santa Fe.
You might want to fly out.
Or drive.
Oh, I thought they were in Australia.
No. Oh, yeah, that's wherever you are, Lily, you definitely are welcome here. The community here is building really beautifully right now, and people have been traveling to join us here, and
From all over the country.
It's been really, really exciting, and we trust that the souls that really resonate with their own authenticity and with our vibration will come. So yes, of course you can come.
And some of you may know Santa Fe is very indigenous, an incredible amount of pueblos and ancient wisdom here. The land itself has been known to be a sacred land with obsidian quartz crystal underneath the surface. So people come from all over the world to heal here. And I did.
So we have another question that says, how often is the process we did meant to be done?
Ooh.
Daily, weekly?
I do it twice a day sometimes, and if I have 4 clients, I do it 4 times a day, but you do it every day.
Yeah, I do it every day, and sometimes I used to do it like when I was really doing it, and like at the beginning, and just really wanting to get in my body. Yeah, sometimes 4 times a day.
But what happens is when you go out into the world right now, we can feel as empaths the level of fear and control. Whew. And the rainbow light helps you clear what is not you emotionally. And because I was so sensitive, I needed a practice that could help me stay clear and still stay open. Mm-hmm. So I'll go shopping, and I'll come home and I'll do rainbow light. I'll do rainbow light in the car, you know, clearing what's not me, which we didn't teach that part of the process, but it is a huge part of the journey is to clear the auric field of what is not you. Mm-hmm. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah, because that part has actually been one of the most significant parts of the practice, because as an empath, and I'm sure all of y'all that are watching this are empaths, it's so easy to take on other people's emotions and their denied emotions and even parts of their spirit into your field, and you think you're processing your own stuff, but you're actually not. You're trying to process another person's stuff.
Yeah, actually, we need to talk about this, because a lot of you all watching is Spirit's just talking to me really fast, that we need to make sure this gets communicated. A lot of us come from angelic realms, star realms, feeling we're here to rescue and save. And what that ends up looking like when you have a human body is you start to enmesh with people's toxins, people's emotional pain. And there's an angelic code that says, we can handle it. We can get them out of suffering. But what I figured out, guys, is that each soul needs their experience to evolve. And if I'm taking your pain out, you can't learn to love that and heal and evolve through it. And I didn't understand this at all until I talked to my angelic self, and I talked to my boyfriends and husband, and then, you know, my children. That way of being enmeshes our fields and actually jeopardizes someone's evolutionary process.
We think we're
and we
helping.
think we're helping, and then we, you know, here we are, these light beings, feeling, why am I so screwed up all the time, feeling so toxic? So this pattern in the angelic realm is really trying to heal right now, because rescuing is not evolution.
Rescuing is not evolution.
And the young ones are de-enmeshing karmically. And I call you guys the younger ones, even though you're ancient. The kind of work that this generation is doing, it took me 15 years. And understand these tools and these techniques come from our ancient soul memory. But the times are pushing us. They're demanding of us to remember who we are. And the healing that took me 15 years is taking Chelsea a year. But we're also doing it in community, not because there's one healer.
Yes.
We have other community members, and we have body workers and incredible gifted biodynamic cranial sacral therapists, and movement and sound practices are consistently happening and integrating, you know, what people's own needs are.
Yeah, and living in an intentional community. Living in an intentional community like we are all doing this practice, it feels so empowering, because we have committed to knowing this understanding within ourselves, to being embodied and not allowing each other to live in denial. So we have accountability all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And it's fucking challenging, but it's so worth it, because we're able to grow in a speed that I
much faster than I could grow.
And awe at. Like, it's so obvious, because the people that I now attract into my life are so much more resonant to what I'm vibrating. And I get to literally witness my own growth within my partners. My partners. I'm like, wow, I went from that person to this person to this person. And
your intimate partners.
Yeah, my intimate partners in like 9 months. What?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
crazy.
so cool. And look, there's a question, honey.
There's a lot of questions.
Oh, I can't read because I don't have my
Okay,
glasses.
I'll read. It says, what does it mean to feel a different vibration on the left and right side of the body?
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
question. Well, some people delegate the left and the right to male, female. I don't hold that script. However, the left and the right generally refer to the right and the left brain. So material that's stored in our bodies keeps flow from moving. And when you're really struggling with receptivity and receiving, that's going to show up on the left side. When you're struggling with taking action, that's going to show up on the right side. Or even either direction. You could be struggling with receiving, and that could also cause some energy blockages on the right side. But I don't always see it as male and female, but I do see it as intuitive and rational brain work, and how you hold yourself in your masculine and your feminine unity, or not. Like, I was overridden by my mind. Like you saw, I was acting out that I was an intellectual, get 2 degrees in 3 years. I was always using my mind to try to push through. And it wasn't until my near-death experience that I could really understand the power of love. Even though I knew it as a kid, Yeah.
So the next question is, how did you realize that you had found your soul calling after 20 years of calling for it?
Well, you can feel it in your body. When your heart goes, wah, and your whole body starts to vibrate when you take an action step towards your soul purpose, your body will tell you when you're on track. However, sometimes you can have one part of your soul override the other parts. Like when if you fall in love with a toxic person, trying to work out a soul issue, but it's not necessarily you're going to be your long-term partner. You're working out some patterns.
All right. Another question is, what's the practice called again? I may need the spelling.
Soul Alchemy is the name of the modality that I developed, and rainbow light is one of the tools in Soul Alchemy. So Chelsee is an apprentice of Soul Alchemy, and the organization that we are all co-creating, because it's now a community organization, is called Sustainable Love. And we have a website, sustainablelove.com, that you can look us up. The rainbow light practice is just part of the Soul Alchemy healing modality.
Yes, and feel free again, like I shared earlier, to add us both on Facebook, and you have super easy access to all of that information. All right, let's see if there's any more questions. All right. I don't see any more questions, but I see all of these beautiful comments. And we feel so grateful.
Thanks, guys.
So grateful to be here with you all.
And I'll say one more thing about our community, because I think we're on that topic right now. Years ago, when I was told I was a rainbow warrior from my soul memory, I didn't really know what that meant. And now there's more and more people coming forward that also have this remembering of I'm the Rainbow Tribe. And what that means to me now is that the Rainbow Tribe are those souls that know they've been every star nation, in every tribe, every race line that's been on planet, and knows they are here to unify all the tribes. So the Rainbow Tribe are folks that are here devoted to racial healing.
In every way.
In every way.
Whether that's human or galactic.
And most of the wars that we see on Earth, guys, as I've tracked it, are star wars, are wars between the different planetary systems and beings that have not seen the other as love. And we are now manifesting the pain of that on Earth, and I think Earth is done with it. I think Earth is saying, I'm ready to shake off this toxicity. And our bodies are too.
Yeah, I think that's the times that we're in,
Yeah.
specifically right now with COVID happening, and just the world shifting so quickly. Is Earth saying, I want to be sovereign.
Yeah.
I want to be sovereign. I'm not going to be the dumping ground anymore. Yeah.
And nor shall our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Nor shall our bodies. Sounds like it's time for a prayer.
Yeah. Would you
Yeah.
like to lead us in your your most famous prayers, Robin Duda?
Sure. One more question.
Oh, one more question before we go into the prayer. If you're stuck holding someone in their pain, how do you walk away when you feel like you're worn out and can barely move?
Oh my.
How do you know where to walk?
Well, it sounds like you've hit the wall that if you don't love yourself, you'll die. So what it comes to is, do you love yourself enough to choose life? Are you willing to hold a pattern of dysfunction to your death? Because these are the times where you have to give people's pain back to them and choose your self-love. And you're not abandoning them. You're actually breaking the karmic codependency. You're actually freeing them. But how do you do it? You have to first decide that you're worth it and get support. You need to get a helper.
Yes.
Can't do it alone.
Yeah, this really inspires me to share a little bit. I know we're going to close it up, but this is a huge part of actually how Robin and I connected in a deeper way, and I started to begin doing this work, is because I was in a relationship.
You were experiencing that very thing.
Oh the very thing. I was in a relationship that was so enmeshed and so codependent, and my partner had a disability where I just was so running that angelic consciousness, that angelic belief system, like I need to save him. Like I needed to save him and be there. And I just took on all of his pain. And I literally felt like if I left him, then he would kill himself. And
sometimes people do that because they're using that to manipulate your soul, guys. And there is mental health issues there, of course. But there's a soul manipulation pattern when that's going on.
And I was in that relationship for a while and just kept trying to leave over and over and over again. And it felt like I was trapped. I felt like there was nothing I could do. Every time I tried to leave, I couldn't leave. There was so much guilt that I was feeling, so much shame that I was feeling, that if I left this person, he would kill himself.
And then it would be your fault.
And
right?
it would be all my fault.
So
I stayed in it. And I became more enmeshed until it got to a point where I fucking couldn't do it anymore. Because I then began wanting to kill myself. I didn't want to be here. Because it felt so much like a trap. I lost who I was. I didn't know who I was.
And understand, these are energetic patterns between souls that create this entrapment. And each one of us has the memory of knowing freedom, so we know that that's not right. So how do we know we're trapped? We have to know that we were also free. So if you're feeling trapped, your body is telling you, your soul's telling you, I need to heal the part of me that feels my value is through rescuing. My value is taking your pain. My value is my role to be the hero. These are all stories of the soul and the personality that have to be cleaned up for you to be free.
Yeah, and that's the first place I met. When I met you, is like I met that part of myself and was able to build the strength and the courage within myself to finally break free from that relationship and choose me. And that's really a lot of how this journey began here, is that choice.
And you were very courageous, Chelsea. You were willing to see your own shadow. And how light can get twisted to create dysfunction. I want you guys to think about that one. what's really distorting us is sometimes not the darkness.
Ah! That is so real.
Anyway, I think we should sign off because
Right.
we only had an hour and a half, right?
Yes.
Yes? All right. So just inviting you guys to put your hand on your heart. And if you want to touch someone that you're near, if you are with someone, and if not, just place your hand up. And we just ask now through all dimensions and realities of the eternal soul wisdom, with our beloved source and earth, that all that you've received grounds into your body, into your awareness, and that healing continues to happen with grace and ease, and that you find the resources you need to evolve in your next greatest step in your adventure, and that you start trusting the sensations and feelings in your body as information about your beliefs, and that you know that your body is now sacred, and it's always been telling you the truth about what is right for you all along. We thank you, Mother, Father, God. We thank you, beloved Source and Earth. We send blessings of the Rainbow Unity consciousness and the Rainbow Unity beings to support all those that are choosing their wholeness and all those that need wholeness. We send blessings on your journey, whether you stay on planet or some beings are choosing to leave at this time. We send blessings and honoring to your soul's path. And so it is.
And so it is.
Can you say goodbye, Mariah? And our buddy left already. Our drummer left. But thank you guys.
Thank you all so much for being here and choosing you, and we just are sending so many blessings and prayers that your soul finds exactly what you need for your healing on your path of evolution.
All right. Blessings, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Get a hold of us on Facebook.
Yes,
Bye.
feel free to find us on Facebook. And so it is.
And so
So
it
it
is.
is.